And after a brief intermission, we are right back fishing grits March 2nd, part two. And we were discussing the Cavs and the Celtics. And does the Celtics have a chance at beating the Cavs in the playoff series? It was a hell of a game, competitive game that we just seen, but they had to play perfect basketball. So I heard you was just saying that you don't think they got a chance. And if they had Durant, it probably would be a little bit different. But at least we know with this current team, and that current coach, if they do at least have a chance of upsetting them for a couple of games. So can you at least see them getting 2 games out of it, or maybe stretching it to 7, or do you think playoff Cavs is just gonna be too much for them?
I think they can push it to 6 games. I think they can get 2. But the thing about the Celtics, and I want everybody to realize, just like the Rockets, if they do lose this year, just know next year you are going to be that much closer to your ultimate goal, and that's taking down the Cavs. They need a small forward, and they got Gordon Hayward's going to be out there, so they can address that issue. And then all you need is another big man, and you're good. They got all the draft picks in the world, so they can easily draft a big man, or they can trade a draft pick for a big man, so they can address that issue, and they can easily beat the Cavs. But this year, I don't know. I can't see nobody beating the Cavs because you have LeBron James, you have Kevin Love, who's going to come back. You have Kyrie, you have Shumpert, Tristan Thompson, Shannon Fry, Deron Williams, Kyle Korver, Bogut, Richard Jefferson. Yo, this team is ridiculous. It ceases to amaze me that LeBron can sit up there and pout. No, I need help, and poof, help comes. Man. Like literally, just 3 weeks ago, he was complaining that he need help
after getting Kyle Korver.
He got Kyle Korver. Oh, I need more. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you had broke out again.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, y'all. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, and we are back. And let me tell you here, I just don't think that no one can beat the Cavs. I think they have too much power for the Warriors, honestly. I think they have too much firepower for the Celtics. I think they have too much firepower for the Wizards. Whoever else you want to throw in Toronto. I think no one's going to stop them. But I'm
not even looking at Toronto seriously no more after Kyle Lowry getting hurt.
Oh, yeah, man. Kyle Lowry getting hurt was really a shocker, honestly. And even if him coming back healthy for the playoffs, I still don't think he's not going to be up to tip-top shape to really cause any damage to any team.
True. And I know this is not a playoff team, but, man, you know how much of a Joel Embiid fan I am. And to see him go down again, 3rd consecutive year, he's going to be ending his season with an injury. It's like, God damn it, man. Can these centers catch a break? First it was Greg Oden. You can even go all the way back to Yao Ming. You could talk about, Sam Bowie? Like these big men, they just can't catch a break sometimes. It's a gift and a curse. It seems like to be a athletic big man, especially for Joel Embiid. He can do everything. It's not anything on the court that he couldn't do, and it just seems like his career is just not going to take off like he thought it would.
I just don't know what is. Maybe it's something in the water. Maybe these big men is kind of overexerting themselves too much, and maybe it's too much pressure that they put on themselves over the course of. Say, if you're a big man playing the center position, you've been playing since what, 6th grade? So I guess your knees take a lot of wear and tear, and your ankles. I don't know what it is, but I
wish somebody tell Miles Turner that shit because he looking like he growing into his own.
Yeah, man, Miles Turner's looking like a beast out there. There's some big, we sit up there and we say, oh, man, Joel Embiid, but then you look up and you have Jokic, and then you have Miles Turner, and then you have Rudy Gobert, then you still have DeAndre Jordan, you still have Lopez that's out there, then you have I guess we can throw Dwight Howard in it, but you have these centers that still, being productive. Oh, you have Karl Anthony Towns, and you still have Boogie Cousins and Anthony Davis. Let's get rid of Dwight Howard. I don't know why I throw his name in there, but you still have these big men that are, still putting up game. You have Valanciunas. You have the dude from Orlando. I can't remember his name right. Their center, Vujicic. I'm just like, you have these centers that still playing productive basketball. So yeah, it's a few great ones that end up getting derailed, career getting derailed by injuries. But that's every position. Brandon Roy, Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady. The list goes on and on. These players that get hurt that have promised to be greater than what they end up being. So you just take it for what it is. But it is sad to say he shut him down for the year. But 76 is not going anywhere. So they might as well shut him down and do what they keep him healthy for next year.
Both of these players have been through a lot injury-wise, and they're both pretty young. But who can you see bouncing back or at least having a longer, more productive career out of Embiid and Anthony and Parker?
I would say Embiid because Parker, 2 ACL tears.
That's kind of scary.
I can't.
A foot seems like it's hard to get over too. I mean, we've seen Yao Ming down here, so
that's true. That's true. And Jabari Parker, he is young, so he might can bounce back. But I still want to give it to Embiid because I see the potential, and I see that you are on the cusp of being, I guess, medically cleared to play a full season or something like that. You see, he's on the cusp. Like you see the athleticism.
I think they shut him down more for emergency rather than like full injury.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Parker, yeah, he tore his shit. Like that was an injury. Bro.
He was on we saw him hurt. Like hey, and that's a good pickup that Milwaukee picked up Terrence Jones. So I like that.
Man, get out of here, bro.
What? You don't like that pickup?
I know Terrence Jones seems to be one of the most talented power forwards you ever see. I mean, you talk about a player from Oregon, played point guard his entire life. So his hand-eye coordination should be up there. Played 3 years at Kentucky around some of the best basketball players. Went in the first round. Came to Houston. Was given a starting spot in the playoffs. Let Aldridge put 40 points on him back-to-back, and he just never been the same player. It seemed like once that happened, everything else went downhill. Terrence Jones had so much potential. Remember when he got hurt, we was upset we lost Terrence Jones. Like, oh, man, we just lost 12 points and 6 rebounds. That hurt us. And to see where he's at right now, I'm just disappointed because I'm not going to say I thought Terrence Jones would have been an all-star, but you tell me you giving me a player that has grown into a 6'9" frame, played point guard all his life, was Mr. Basketball, won a couple state titles, and went to one of the best basketball programs in the nation, get drafted in the first round. You clearly got to be doing something right in your basketball career, and you beating up bums in Oregon.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to say. I think LaMarcus Aldridge really demoralized his spirit because
killed him.
I don't think you can stop LaMarcus Aldridge. I think he was in a space in his life where he was really unstoppable for us. So I don't think anybody could stop that. And I think he knocked himself more than he should have. And I think going to Milwaukee, a new situation, a new environment, he has a younger team around him. He has players around him that can kind of help his game out. I think that he can grow and he can become the player that me and you see that he can be. I wish he would have got another. I wish the Rockets would have gave him another look. I wish they would have gave him a second chance because he would have filled in a nice void on that power forward position that we have.
I'm done with the Terrence Jones experience.
Come on, don't be like that. Don't be like that.
No, because man, Marcus, he had a lot of potential. Okay, he was given every opportunity to be successful down here. They put pieces around him. They brought power forwards in to help him compete. Josh Smith didn't want to be a starter. He didn't want to start. He was fine coming off the bench. He said, "No, put Terrence in. I'll come off the bench. I'll be the point guard for the second unit." Josh Smith made that sacrifice so Terrence Jones can continue to develop as an NBA player. That's a true veteran. So you telling me he has good talent. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, not talking down, but you saying that he has all this good talent around him. Shit, he had a MVP caliber player, top 10 center. He had veterans all through the line when you talk about Ariza, when you talk about Josh Smith, when you talk about Corey Brewer. You had a scrappy dude in Pat Bev. He was surrounded by talent, and he did nothing with it. Like, I honestly don't feel Terrence Jones will be on a better team than that Rockets team that lost to the Blazers. That's probably one of the most talented teams that he'll ever be on. That's probably one of the most talented teams that we've seen in a Rockets uniform. And I truly blame that entire series. Okay, I'm not going to put everything on Terrence, but he messed up those 2 games. But James Harden didn't show up also.
He didn't show up, and
Jeremy Lin listed a couple layups. Chandler Parsons didn't close out. It was a lot of things going on.
Parsons.
Yeah. Like I said, Parsons the reason that Lillard had a clean shot.
Exactly. No defense.
But Terrence Jones put us in the hole. 80 points in 2 games at your home court. No, man. I put everything on Terrence for not playing better defense, but also Mikal for not making the switch.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like J Kidd is a motivator of men. And I think J Kidd I think his coaching ability inspires his team to play beyond, I guess, the talent that they have, because Greek Freak, yeah, he's good, but I think he's playing better because of Jason Kidd. He's, Jabari Parker, I think he plays better because of, Chris Middleton, Greg Monroe. You can go, the list can go on, but I think he's going to fit in that system because they really have no one's really small on that team. They really have a big team. And I really feel like Terrence Jones can easily slide in and play the quote unquote power forward point guard position. He can bring the ball up. I think no one has to be what I want to say. They don't have no quote unquote point guard that's going to dominate the ball. So I feel like Terrence Jones plays better when he has the ball in his hands. He's able to create plays and things of that nature. And I think you saw it in New Orleans. Like when Anthony Davis went down and Terrence Jones got in the game, he looked good. He really looked good out there. Even what game was that when they played against the Cavs and beat the Cavs? Terrence Jones looked good. So I think that just sometimes another breath of fresh air, clear your mind. You get to a new space in your life, and I feel like he's going to play better. I hope he plays better. I mean, you don't want to get waived anymore, so I hope he gets it together.
Man, it's ridiculous. Terrence Jones has too much talent. I honestly feel if he had his shit together, Terrence Jones could have been a 10-year starter down here.
I can believe that.
That's honestly how I feel about Terrence Jones. And for him to do some of the stupid shit he was doing down here, from the car wrecks, like I said, he was beating up people in his hometown, showing up late for practices, taking erratic shots in the game, like trying to take it coast to coast with those weak ass dribbles. Like it was just so much he was doing that just upsetted me as a basketball fan. And I'm not saying just because he went to Kentucky and he won state championships in high school that he should have been an all-star, but I just expected more out of him. I thought he was gonna be able to hit those threes consistently. I said, okay, now he getting confidence and start taking them, okay, and it just nothing came out of it. It was just shots after a while, like shots that he started to miss. I saw airballing. He was getting worse.
Well, we'll just go ahead and chalk this up to you won't be watching his career, but I'll be watching.
We'll see what happens with him. But man, let's touch briefly on this Boogie and Anthony Davis move. When I look at it, I feel like it could be like Weber and Juwan Howard 2.0, but they're bigger players. But I don't know if in today's NBA if this can quite work out for them. They're gonna need a few more shooters around them. I mean, I don't think you can just win with those 2 players and no type of wing players. Yeah, you can dominate the paint, you can dominate the boards, but once those 3s start getting hit in your face, it's like, all right, so we're just gonna keep throwing up these hook shots for these 2 points while we giving up 3 on the other end.
If I was New Orleans, I would trade Boogie Cousins next year, and I would get all the value I can get for Boogie Cousins because they literally got Boogie Cousins for nothing. I would resign him, and then I would try to trade him another 2 years and see what value I can get for him. Or we can go the other route, and I would holler at Olajuwon. I would bring in Ralph Sampson. I'll bring in Yao Ming. I'll bring in some of those really good those Rocket. The only reason why I'm naming Rocket players because they kind of play back to back with each other. Like Mutombo and Yao played together, or they didn't play together all the time, but enough time. Or you can just say the Twin Towers back in the Rockets day. I feel like they could be a force to be reckoned with going forward. I think they can change the dynamic of the game and make it more, I guess, big man friendly, how it hasn't been in a long time. And I feel like the Pelicans, all the Pelicans need is you got to get rid of what's his name? I can't remember their small forward. They need another small forward. I don't like that they lost Tyreek Evans because I really like Tyreek Evans, but they need a few pieces. But I think they can work together. You can see they can work together because I think Boogie Cousins, I think he needs to step his defense up. That's the part that he lacks on that I feel like as a big man he should have on lock, especially with his talents. I feel like he needs to get that up in the in the long call. But I can't say this is a bad pickup or a bad trade that they made because they got Boogie Cousins for nothing, honestly.
Yeah, they pretty much got him for free, and they putting him together with probably the best front court you can ask for in the NBA easily. But they sitting, it looks like about 4 games out of the 8 seed, but you also got the Timberwolves right there about 3 games out. Which team do you give a better chance at making the playoffs? The Timberwolves with Karl-Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins, or the big man up in New Orleans, Boogie Cousins and Anthony Davis? Which team do you think?
Neither.
You think the Nuggets gonna hold it out the whole
I told you. I think the Nuggets are really gonna hold down the 8 seed. I think people are really sleeping on this boy Jokic. Like the Nuggets, let's be honest. The Nuggets are what the Knicks needed to be. And I'm gonna tell you why I say this, because the trade that happened where the Knicks screwed themselves up forever is when they got rid of Wilson Chandler and they got rid of Gallinari. And I said, and I would forever say that was a terrible trade. I wouldn't have wanted Melo. I would have took a young Gallinari. I would have took a young Wilson Chandler. They would have had those 2 players. Then they would have had a poor, if they played their cards right, all they needed was to get them another good center and get a point guard. New York Knicks would have been in the playoff hunt every year. But you traded because you were fooled by the glitz and glamour of Carmelo. And look at the Nuggets. The Nuggets are coming up. The Nuggets are coming into themselves. They are a force.
They was good a couple years ago with Andre Iguodala and Ty Lawson. So
yeah, and then think about this. Kenneth Faried is hurt. He hasn't been playing. No, he is not. Well, he's not hurt. He's just hasn't been playing. No, he is hurt. He hasn't been playing. And putting him back into the lineup with the team that they have, I feel like they could go. I can't see them falling off because they have too much talent on their team. Everybody's playing at the peak level right now. And I think going forward, I think people should look at the Nuggets. And I feel like the Nuggets, if they were to get another good 2 people, I think the Nuggets are a team that people need to really recognize because they have a lot of talent. And I like Will Barton. I really like him.
Will Barton's good. I don't know, man. I'm kind of feeling like putting all my eggs in the Timberwolves basket right now.
What? No,
no. It's like seriously, because this is a young team, and what it's gonna come down to toward the end of the year is legs, and who's gonna have those legs to run up and down that court at a high speed rate? Those Timberwolves, especially with Thibodeau. He's gonna run them. He's gonna train them hard. He's gonna have them practicing hard. And I would not be surprised if they made the playoffs at all. I'm not saying win against the Warriors or the Spurs in a matchup against 1 versus 8, but I really do think Minnesota making the playoffs will be a build in the right direction, especially for the Timberwolves. They've been in a bad state for a long time.
Bro, I don't think they're going to make it. Listen to the Nuggets rosters. Jokic, Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, Jameer Nelson, who still has some fight in him. They have Moutier, Will Barton. They have Plumlee, and they have Hibbert. I think they're good. I think they're good that they can beat a lot of these okay teams, and I think they can really challenge a lot of these good teams because you saw them beat the Warriors. You seen them beat the Bulls. You seen Jokic going his triple-double run, and he's starting to go on. Like, I think they have that 8 seed locked down. I think they can slip up to the 7th seed. And the only reason why I say that is because I can't see there's going to be a point in time where Westbrook is going to get tired because he's really playing at 100% all the time. And guess what? That's not going to last. Like, it's going to burn off either at the tail end of the season or he going to burn down in the playoffs because you can't play as fast as he plays all the time and conserve your energy and have enough energy for the long call. What do you think?
I mean, I think I think they safely gonna get like the 7th or the 6th seed. I don't think they're gonna tell off and go into like a crazy losing streak to where he get like the 8th seed. I think his playoff seed is pretty much set. I only think it's one playoff seed that's up for battle, and I think it's the 8th spot. But out of all those players you said about Denver, do they have a player that's averaging 24, almost 13 rebounds, 3 assists, almost 2 blocks? No, they don't have a Karl-Anthony Towns. Yeah, they got a Jokic. Yeah, they got a Gallinari. Yeah, they got a Chandler, but they don't have a superstar. A superstar in the making that's on the cusp of making his first playoff run. Those players been in the playoffs. I'm not saying they're not hungry, but Denver know they don't really got a chance. The Timberwolves are a young and up-and-coming team. And you see when those young teams make the playoffs, that's usually like the catapult to success. It didn't happen with the Pelicans, but at least Anthony Davis was able to showcase his skills in the playoffs. And I think Karl-Anthony Towns, Tom Thibodeau, and Andrew Wiggins, they want the playoffs more than the Nuggets. The Nuggets want to prove that they're actually competing in the West. They still under 500. Let's not act like they just been blowing people out. Yeah, they got a couple good victories under their belt, but they still don't have a winning record. Neither do the Timberwolves. They're only a couple games behind. But I like the youth and the coach a lot more than what I see in Denver.
All right, big bank and take little bank. You got the Timberwolves. I got the Denver Nuggets.
All right, we'll make that a fish and grits bet. We'll see how that goes down.
Our first official bet on the show.
There we go, man. But let's jump into today's catch of the day. You know, it's a few movies out that we both going to discuss. I'm talking about Get Out myself. But what kind of movie have you been seeing lately that's catching your eye, or anything that's about to come out that's going on in the film industry that you looking forward to seeing?
Well, I know that you saw Get Out. I didn't see Get Out, so you can discuss that one. But a movie that I checked out a few weeks ago was that John Wick 2. Now, I know a lot of people there's a cult following for the first John Wick, and there's a lot of people that really enjoyed the style of the whole gun fu, should I say, when, you know, with the kung fu mixed with the gun martial artist. And, you know, Keanu Reeves stepping it up, delivering like always, a nice character, probably one of his best characters since Neo. And John Wick 2 is pretty much steroids. Can you hear me, DeMarcus?
I can hear you now.
I said, well, John Wick 2 is literally John Wick 1 on steroids. You have the same type of charismatic, you know, behavior that Keanu Reeves gives you in the role, which is very captivating. And you have Morris Fishburne. I'm not trying to give out too much of the movie. He plays. It's good to see him and Keanu Reeves back together, you know, from The Matrix back in the day. And then you have a lot of B-list characters like Common, the girl from Orange Is New Black, and, you know, recurring roles from people from the first movie. But I really like the action in this movie. It's a little slow in the beginning, so, you know, don't be too quick to want to judge the movie, because it does start off very, very slow. But when the action gets going, it gets going fast. And it's the thing that I liked about John Wick is it sets up potential for it to be a third movie. And I feel like the third movie is going to top the second movie just because of the stakes that will be involved going forward. I personally like John Wick, and there's a movie that I'm looking forward to this weekend. I know everybody knows it. I know everybody's seen it. Logan, the third and last Wolverine movie. It's probably the last movie that we're going to have from Hugh Jackman, who's been playing Wolverine since what? 2099 or 2000, I want to say.
Something like that, yeah.
That's a long time.
It's been a while, almost 20 years.
That's a long time to be playing the same character. And I think he's been in every X-Men movie besides Deadpool, but he's, you know, they dropped a little name call. But man, it's gonna be sad to see the man go, you know, him wrapping it up. I'm really looking forward to this movie. It's rated R, so I'm finally looking forward to seeing the Wolverine that I've always wanted to see, the one that, like, I always saw back in the X-Men movie. And I know I was 10 years old when the X-Men came out, and Wolverine stabbed this guy and he pulled his claws out. I'm just like, yo, why is his claw so clean? Where'd all the blood go?
You're right.
Like, there's some odd with this picture, but we finally getting the Wolverine that's going to be cutting up everything. We have this young girl. I don't recall her name, but she's playing X-23, which is a younger version of, you know, the Wolverine character. You know, she has the same abilities that can heal. She has the claws and all that. It seems like it's going to be in the same movie. So that's what I'm really looking forward to this weekend. What about you?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I'm a huge fan of X-Men, so I'm definitely gonna have to catch that Logan probably this Friday or Saturday. You know, I went Friday grand opening to go see Get Out just because I was interested. The Rotten Tomatoes score kind of what drew me in. Seeing 100, you're like, oh, okay, this must be a good movie.
It's a black man in 100% movie.
Yeah. I'm like, hold on, what's going on? You know, it only costs 4.5 million to make the movie, and they already grossed 37 through the first week. So this goes to show you what type of movie that this is. You know, and like I said, I'm not gonna do a lot of spoiling, but what I am gonna say is go in there, have an open mind, and just take in everything that's going on when you do decide to watch this film, because it's a lot of messages that's going on, especially from the black community and what we have to deal with, you know. Because they're not telling you the entire story, like as far as how we're viewed in the white community, but it's giving you a big idea about how they view us as black people. And I think it's very important for at least us black people to go see this movie, just so you can see how white people view us and how they talk about it, because these are real conversations. Like some of these conversations that they had in those movies, I've had in real life. It felt surreal. So I want to get any and everybody out to see the movie Get Out, just for the twist that it's gonna bring, and just to show you that the value of the black man, because that's the one thing I think a lot of people missed out about this movie, the value of a black man. As much as they talk down on us for our color of skin, they want to be us. Anybody wants to be a black man. We're distinct. We're rare. We're like artifacts. And the value of the black man is going to be shown in this video, in this movie. So, Marcus, if you have a little time out your day, just get this movie. It's only 103 minutes. It's not even 2 hours. So just give this movie a chance. Just see what the hype is, and you will not be disappointed.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to catch it out, man. The only thing about it is, I remember when I first saw the trailer, back in, I want to say last year, I was like, man, this movie looks really stupid. And then I found out who directed it. It's my boy
Peele, yeah.
Jordan, what's his name? Jordan Peele from Key and Peele. Man, I was like, oh, really? He directed this movie? So I know it had to be some type of twist, you know, more than meets the eye with this movie. Like it looked like it was just a typical old scary movie. Then I hear people coming out saying, well, man, I got a lot out of that movie, you know, or man, that movie was way better than I thought. And I was like, you know what? He seems like the type of person to make a movie where you go in expecting one thing and getting something totally different. So I know I'm be checking out that movie, but man, I really haven't been catching up with a lot of my movies. I know I've been falling off. I need to catch up.
We all have. Like I said, it was probably my girl that talked me into seeing this, but I'm just gonna give a quick example of something that happened in the movie. All right, this guy, black guy, came to the party, the official setting of the movie or whatever, and he was spinning around like showing everybody his clothes. At least that's what it looked like. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, his clothes don't look brand new. They look a little wrinkled. Like, what is he showing off? He's not showing his clothes off. And like I said, he was a black man. He was showing off his skin. He was showing off his new black body. Like seriously, he was showing off his new black body. Like, hey, look what I am. I'm a black man. He was proud to be black. You know, so like when you look at that movie, I want you to look at that scene and just look how proud he looked. Just look how he felt to be a black man. And we should have that.
Man. I'm really interested in this movie because I want to see what people see in this movie, because I haven't read any spoilers, so I'm still gonna go in fresh. You know, no spoilers going on here, so I can't wait to see that. But I have to add it to my man. There's so many movies coming out this year. You got Beauty and Beast coming out this month. You got Beauty and Beast. You have King Kong coming out. You have Power Rangers, because you know I'm be first to see Power Rangers. So I hope I can find some time to see it. But then again, if I don't see it, guess what? I have that good old Fire Stick.
Hey, boy, that Fire Stick come in handy, don't it?
Yes, sir.
I ain't lying. I ain't gonna act like I ain't paid $33 to go to the movie. That's some bullshit. They just robbing people out the theater. They just might as well just take your wallet as soon as you go in there.
Really? It don't make no sense how much it costs to go to see the movies nowadays.
Bro, I just walk past concession stand. I don't know when last time I bought something. Just be looking like, well, it must be nice for you to eat that $10 hot dog.
Really, I got a free hot dog at the house in my purse.
For real though, man. But man, NFL is gonna be kicking up pretty soon. I think free agency starts on March 9th, so we will be having a little bit more information as far as the NFL side of things goes. Our new webpage is up on our Facebook at Fish and Grits. You can catch us on Instagram. You can catch us on Facebook. You can catch us anywhere. We need to start putting a little bit more content out there. But it's just been a very busy season. But we are going to be coming to you guys a little bit more live and direct, especially as we approach the NFL draft and the NBA playoffs. But as for now, this has been Fish and Grits, and you guys have just been served.
Y'all enjoy.
Peace.